Nicole, can you get that?
This child.
You Meech and Terry's mom?
I am. And you are?
Yo, boys, they hurt me. They hurt me really bad.
Maybe we should pray together.
What up, what up? Welcome back to the channel. I'm J and we are locked in. You just heard the prayer from Miss Lucille. Now, she was letting Lamar know that she is the mother of Terry and Meech. But let's pray and see if we can get through this. And hopefully this prayer will change the trajectory of Lamar in running the streets. Now, I do feel that this is buying the boys a little bit of time, and I'm curious to see how the story plays out, knowing that Lamar's real life person is still alive. So before we jump into this and break it down, if you like BMF content, theories, breakdowns, predictions, live after show discussions, hit your subscribe button, turn on your notification bell so you get something every time I upload. Make sure you hit that like button and follow me on Instagram right here. Now, Lamar, he got about 15 chains on. The boys just got the call from little Nikki and they're on their way back. So did Mama Lucille actually save the boys moving forward in these Detroit streets?
You blowing money fast on this side. I think I'm Big Meech.
One of the first things I want to point out is, if you were watching, Lucille was cutting up these apples. She did have a knife, but remember, she was about to put it in her pocket. But if you watch closely, she wipes it off and she just sets it down on the table. Now, this is kind of good because that's where the prayer is going to come in. Because if you watch the whole time she's sitting there talking to Lamar, she's fidgeting with that little bitty pocket. So if she would have took the knife, she may have tried to leap at him. You never know what she would have done. Maybe Lamar would have used the gun if she didn't go into the prayer. So I do feel overall that Lucille did buy the boy some times. And from the tears that we're seeing from Lamar, it looked like, hey, he was getting a little sentimental here. And it was like, man, maybe he thought about his mom, or just the simple fact that he's out here living raw and wrong with all these chains on. And he's really over here threatening these boys' mother when the beef is with them and not with her. I know we mention it all the time that Lamar's only mission in life is to get Meech. But once he came over here, this was really showing how far Lamar was willing to go to try to get Meech and Terry. It wasn't just to come over here and have a conversation and wait for the boys to get back. He was gripping on the gun in case she did something, or maybe the boys were still in town and she just not saying nothing. So Lamar was really here. And you knew Lamar was serious because once the door was open, he walked straight through the threshold and asked the serious question. Are you Meech and Terry's mother? And at that point, Lucille was very, very nervous, and she wished she had that knife on her, because at this point, this is where a mother's instinct just is going to kick in, and it's just going to be instant reaction. So Lucille, with this prayer that she's about to get into, really saved her, Nikki, Lamar, and the boys. We do have to give Lucille credit for being in this situation. This takes a lot of courage, and that motherly instinct kicked in, because what did she do right here? She was the last line of defense before it got to Nikki. There's no telling how far Lamar would take it. So Lucille, we definitely appreciate everything that you done here because you protected the boys. Now, for her to go in her church bag, pull that out and be able to pray, she must have got through. And that's that motherly figure that maybe Lamar is missing out on. Because think about it. Lamar doesn't have any family. And for him to hear this from Lucille, even though she knows that he shot her boy, he's still willing to pray for him. So for Lucille to step up like this, we got to give her a lot of credit. And she did protect Nikki. Good thing for us, Nikki got on the phone and called Terry. But Lucille, you get the MVP of this episode because you actually saved a lot of people. Shout out to Nikki. She knew when her mom was yelling like that she was supposed to respond and come down there. And luckily she did when she did, because she seen that Lamar was the one at the house, and she seen Lamar face to face, looked him in his eye before she ran off and he killed Darius. So her calling Terry and Meech, this is all off of the back of Lucille yelling, Nikki, get that door, Nikki. So Lucille is really the MVP, but it's good. Now I want to say, I don't know how the storyline is going to play out, and I have a couple theories. When the boys get back in town, Lucille is going to tell them everything that happened. But I'm thinking Lucille is also going to be trying to tell them the same thing that she told Lamar. Yeah, you two may have your personal issues. You've been shot. He's been shot. If y'all can just squash that some way, somehow, I think Lamar is going to grow just a little bit of a heart, and it might be a mutual agreement that, hey, we won't mess with each other no more. Something along the lines like that. Maybe they get close to Alvin, and Alvin is Lamar's only friend. So he's like, hey, we got to chill, Lamar, because in the trailer, what do we hear? He said, man, them Flennory boys is back. So it might be Alvin telling Lamar, hey, we need to pull back. And Lamar might go for it just because of the prayer that he got from Lucille. That's the only thing I'm looking forward to when the boys get back in town. Now it looks like they're going to be armed up. So Lamar, is he just going to fold, roll over? Nah. There's still going to be some kind of friction between BMF and Lamar. But I'm just saying that prayer right there is going to be the thing that's going to probably stick in the back of Lamar's head. I can see Lamar bringing it up and saying, man, his mom did pray for me. Maybe I should start looking at things a different way, because he also has to get right so he can see Zoe with Monique. So for Lamar, this could all play out good for him. I just hope the boys, because now Lamar has crossed the line and went straight to their mother, they might crash out over this, or at least be looking for him and get into some more nonsense. But right now, hopefully the boys can chill and Lucille can convince them it ain't that serious. And hopefully Meech is thinking the same thing. We got money on the streets now. Let's fall back from it. Falling back will eventually allow them to figure out what they're going to do with the work. Remember, they just got the recipe on how to turn one brick into two. So that's definitely going to be one reason to fall back. Then the next thing we have on our agenda is they got to make sure that the niece is taken care of. We got to pay for her son's tuition. So now we really got to figure out, how is the dope game going to be effective and stay out of Lamar's path. Now we might not go directly at him, might not be a war between us, but this is going to give Meech and Terry a chance to actually get in the game and build back up. So they might be able to offer Lamar something. Hey, here goes some money. Stop messing with us. All right, what do you think about Lucille in this prayer? Is that prayer going to stick to his soul? Is Lamar going to be able to look back and decide that, you know what, Lucille was right? I do have issues with them boys, but I ain't going to do nothing. Or do you think Lamar is going to be Lamar and he's going to be after them until the day he's put under or in jail? Let me know, because I want to see the wild Lamar. I want to see the wild Lamar, but I'm also hoping that something good can come out of it. I don't know. Maybe it's just me being selfish. I want to see some shit in the streets. But let me know what you think. I'm ModeIJ. If you like BMF content, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button if you're new. I definitely appreciate it. We're on the road to 40,000 subscribers. Thanks for watching. I'm out.